from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty West Coast, we greet you all good morning, good evening, whenever your timeline may fall. Time-appropriate greetings indeed to one and all. This is The Launch. My name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
Hello, Angers. Let's warm everybody up with a little bit of what they need to know. We'd love it if you joined us live. We'll have a special live show this Friday. And we're usually live on Tuesdays. You can call us and leave us a voicemail. That number is 774-462-5667. Yeah, I said 774-462-5667. When we are live, it's 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. UTC, jblive.tv, or in your podcasting 2.0 app of choice. And then you don't have to worry about it. We usually come out Wednesday mornings. I say usually because I'm hitting the road soon. And we love it if you join us in our Mumble room. We also have a chat room going 7 days a week. It's called The Launch HQ. And it's on Matrix. No age verification required. So let's have a party. And then links to what we talk about will be over at weeklylaunch.rocks. And that's a website, which has links. And you go to it in your web browser. All right, Andrews, you had a great topic to start us out this week. Mm-hmm. And it's things we stock up on.
Yep. Yeah, so, obviously Costco being a big box store, if you go there, you're buying in bulk, right?
Costco lifestyle.
So to what extent? And the thing is I use Instacart now, the same day delivery for Costco, because I don't like going to Costco
it's crazy
anymore.
Busy usually.
Also, everything there is minimum $10 each. So you go in there for two things and you end up spending like $150.
Easy.
Super easy. I was going to bring up toilet paper. Like, who wants to run out of toilet paper? Nobody. But COVID really put a negative thing. It took a long time for me to feel comfortable buying toilet paper again, right? Because they had the whole limit and just nobody wanted to run out of it. But basically almost every Costco order that I place, I add toilet paper.
Just in case.
Every time.
You can always have extra.
Mm-hmm. But recently I ran out of something. Well, actually, Bella did first. Bella ran out of deodorant. And she's like, do you have some? And I'm like, normally I have a 6-pack, right?
Yeah.
And I have this optimized. Me, Abby, and Bella all use the same deodorant.
Oh, that is a great idea.
Right? Yes. This is the way to do it.
Yeah, it is.
But I didn't have any. So I ordered it from Amazon, and it was supposed to be here next day.
Uh-huh. Oh,
3 days later.
Uh-huh. I know where this is going.
And 2 days after my deodorant also ran out. It got delivered late and it's in the mailbox right now. I am free pitting or whatever. I am not wearing deodorant for the first time in my memorable memory.
We'll see if we make it through the show.
Yeah, I have never not worn deodorant.
We might have to wrap it up early if it gets stinky.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that.
All right, so deodorant seems like a good one to stock up. I thought you were going to be beans and rice.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one funny thing, before I switched to Instacart same-day delivery, I sound like an ad, and Instacart is not is not sponsoring this episode. I was buying laundry soap, and I was unloading the car, and I was like, well, I'm not out of laundry soap yet, so where can I put this? And then I turned around, I'm like, I'll set it next to this laundry soap. I already had
another one.
So I had two unopened, brand new.
Nice.
So one thing with stocking up is you need to keep the overstock next to the current so you don't end up buying it over and over again.
Out of sight, out of mind.
And then subscribe and save is another problem.
Yes.
Be sure to evaluate your subscribe and save regularly. So the first two cats that I have use Crystal litter. And I was getting that every 3 weeks, right? Because they were using it all the time. But then Gypsy learned how to go potty outside and went the way of Rocky, and they just both prefer to potty outside. I was never having to change the litter, but I did not change my subscribe and save. So I have at least no less than 6 cases of Crystal litter in my garage right now. And guess what? Toes
doesn't like it.
Doesn't use crystals.
No.
He uses sand.
What you got to do is just wait for a kitty litter shortage.
Or get more cats.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Might be able to throw on eBay in a year or two when there's a shortage for some reason.
Maybe. But I might try to sub it out. But and then the other thing is snacks. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Can't. If you have kids, you can't. You can't buy snacks. That's all they will eat.
They'll burn through them.
Yeah. Right now, I did get, they have Hostess donuts powdered in chocolate in 3 packs. And there's like 24 of them. And I was like, 1 a day. And if they don't do that,
No more.
I'm going to lock it up.
Cut it off.
I'm going to lock it up. They're each going to have a bin, and I will give them an allotment of what they can have each day, and that is it. Like, I am so sick of them blowing through
Snack
everything.
purge. Yeah.
Like, I got the Starburst Ice.
Yeah, right.
Fave Reds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dylan drank like 4 the first night. Like, drink some water, dude.
It's like $1.99 a drink.
Well, no, it was only $15.
Oh, that's good.
Surprisingly, for 24. So
Yeah.
But still, God, I just hate the excess. But no, there's no prepper. There's no prepper talk. There's no beans or rice. Mm-mm.
No, okay.
Sorry.
Of course, one of my big stock up items is I've just admitted that I drink a lot of energy drinks, so I tend to buy those from Costco because it is, if you're going to do it, right, that's kind of the way to save.
Unless you leave it in the cart.
Yep.
Also, I've never had an energy drink. Go ahead.
Wow.
Ever.
One of these days. We should do a whole episode. Maybe we just do an episode.
Oh, yeah. On an energy. I had one right before, and now I'm going to drink one during.
you slam one during the pre-show.
Okay.
And then during the show, we see how it goes.
Oh, my gosh.
No, what I was going to say is, I've had a lot of drama recently buying Red Bull at Costco. Like you mentioned, there was the whole left it in the cart scenario, which I'm still not fully sure that was what happened, but they seem to have
or
the flock
it didn't
camera
make it
evidence.
into the cart.
Yeah.
The flock camera evidence.
Yeah. But last night, the wife goes out to Costco. I didn't know she was going. She gets a whole new rack of the Red Bull sugar-free, and I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. She brings it inside, and I notice it's dripping.
Oh.
One of the cans, like in the middle of the whole thing where you couldn't see it from the edge, was cracked or cut, and it was leaking out all over. So all the cans were covered.
Oh, my gosh.
Had to wash them all. So I do stock up on the caffeine a lot. And the other one for me is not so much toilet paper because we use expensive RV toilet paper, but which actually never had a shortage. Little hack there.
Yeah.
By the way, if there's ever another pandemic and you need toilet paper, the RV toilet paper doesn't sell out. But the other thing I like to have a lot of, so that way I never run out, because I honestly don't know how anybody uses a kitchen without them, is paper towels.
Yeah.
I use paper towels to dry my hands. I use paper towels when I'm doing the dishes. I use paper towels to clean things up. I use paper towels to wipe off a fork or a knife if I've got it dirty.
Like put around food in the microwave.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know how people did anything without paper towels before paper towels were invented. And I have to imagine they just had a ton of rags that they just got one-time use dirty all the time.
Towels. No, not one time. Probably multiple, but yeah.
But a lot of the stuff I use paper towels for, it's like it's done after that. It's shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just couldn't imagine always using an item that I had to throw in the washing machine afterwards.
We ran out of paper towels a couple weeks ago, and so I actually did an in-person Costco visit to rectify
Paper towels are necessary.
And then they had samples out.
Oh, that is the best.
And that led to other questionable decisions.
That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm. It was nice, though.
All right, we want to know.
What do you stock up on?
Yep.
How much? What's your limit?
Yeah, when's it good?
Yeah.
What's your estimation? Maybe others might think it's too much. Let us know. And we want you to call in real quick because we are recording this Friday.
Yes.
This Friday, we were doing an extra recording to cover for my travel. So Friday the 27th at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. It'll be also in the Podcasting 2.0 apps. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, and we hope to at least have an episode for you for one of those. Mm-hmm. That's what we're pre-recording on Friday. But we need calls, we need booze, and we need live stream peeps.
Yep.
The whole shebang. It takes a lot for a launch. It's a village. So we could really use your help. It'll be this Friday. That would be February. That's right, the 27th, 2026. It's crazy. And then hopefully I'll see some of you in Pasadena. That could be really great. And we want your calls. So do give us a call. I'll give you a little hint. Tell us about your St. Patrick's Day traditions.
Yes. I was going to do that, but I'm like, I don't know if you want them to know.
No, I think we'll give them a little tease, just a little tease. That could be, let's say, on topic. Give us a call.
Don't you get married on St. Patrick's Day?
Sometimes. I mean, I have. 774-462-5667. Yep, that's 774-462-5667. We want you to call the launch and tell us if you're an anti St. Patter's, that's okay. I mean, you could tell us why. If you do go out and you party, whatever, let us know. Call the launch.
Well, I'm just gonna make a quick call to
The launch.
I haven't checked in since yesterday.
774-462-5667. That's it. All right. 774-462-5667. Call now.
Yeah, call the launch. You got to get it in quick, because if you're hearing this, we're probably almost getting ready to sit down and record again. So better move on it. All right, we have a few things to get into. It's one of my old soapboxes, and we're getting up on it. Well, I call shenanigans as Anthropic and OpenAI gear up for massive 2026 IPOs. They are no longer doing the move fast and break things, which was an old Zuckerberg saying. They now have a playbook called regulatory capture, which is the new Zuckerberg saying, which we'll get into. But here's a little background for you, Andrews. Anthropic donated $20 million to a U.S. political group backing a particular type of AI regulation. And this is a big one. $20 million donation is no joke. It's a super PAC founded by the former members of Congress, specifically to back candidates who support strong AI safeguards and oppose federal preemption of state-level AI rules. Now, that's an interesting little nuance here that's worth touching on. There's currently a battle in the AI policy world if there should be a blanket federal policy or if every state should implement their own policy. And the reason why Anthropic likes the latter is because you would need essentially a legal department for every state.
Yeah.
And the only people that could afford that are the people that can afford $20 million donations to super PACs.
Yep.
So
Wait, so they want the state level regulations?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
they are the only ones that could afford it. Like if you and I wanted to launch an AI company, we're out. The compliance
Right.
bar alone makes it impossible. And so Anthropic also spent $3.13 million on federal lobbying in 2025, which was its highest ever, $300,000 in California, which was more than ever before and far above its prior years. And like I said, the reason is because a big old juicy IPO is coming.
We made less flashy headlines than some, and we've been focused on growing revenue and winning business rather than spending money and announcing the biggest compute deals that we possibly could.
These companies have gone head-to-head, raising hundreds of billions of dollars in private markets and to have the best AI models. The next leg of this race is their potential 2026 IPOs. Anthropic and OpenAI could hit public markets as early as the end of this year, according to sources, but both will debut at sky-high valuations and cash burn. Investors in both of those companies have told me that they want to be the first to explain their story to Wall Street, how to value these companies, how to justify some of those losses. And one banker compared this IPO parade to the fierce competition between Uber and Lyft back in 2019. Lyft was...
See, they have this problem where all of this money has been spent. All of this investment money has been put in, and they might just have an inconvenient monopoly. They have a monopoly now because they have all the money and they've had all of the resources. But it is quickly eroding. But before I get into why, I just want to recap the playbook here. So in the old days, tech companies would avoid regulation for as long as possible. That's what they were famous for. In fact, I think it's what most of us just still expect. And it was no mistake that Washington, D.C. and Silicon Valley were about as far apart as possible in the contiguous United States. It wasn't really an accident. They didn't want in Silicon Valley to have anything to do with slow, old, bureaucratic D.C. They move fast. They're creating the future. D.C.'s the past. They move slow. Then, as tech became big tech and got deeper in our lives, deeper in our services, larger and larger corporations that interface and have contracts with the federal government, there was no longer avoiding the DC bureaucracy anymore because they became part of it, just as their natural size. And so Zuck showed the way. Zuck showed us all, if you were paying attention, you lean into the regulation. You tell Congress critters that only they can save us, and that the problem is so massive that if they don't get ahead of it, we're going to have a huge societal problem. So they create political momentum, and then they help drive the legislation because they are there at the very beginning of that momentum, and they're the experts. They're the professionals. They're the ones that have been interfacing with the Congress critters already, that have the established relationships, that have the money. So then they drive the design of the legislation, and that legislation
To their
creates
benefit.
a moat around their company
Yeah.
to their benefit. And it requires massive amounts of money to even play. And it's a tricky one because there are legitimate things that probably need to be regulated by a government, especially when it comes to AI. So there's parts of the argument that are very sound, and we'll get to how that's been very true in history. But there's parts of it that are designed to secure their business before open source models and other things come along and completely knock out their knees. So Anthropic's going out there. They're making calls. They're trying to tell people that you have a very limited time. There's more cyber attacks than ever. There's going to be a faster and faster pace of this development. You have to act now because they're attempting to create a sense of urgency to get Congress and other nations' lawmakers to act. And this is all in line with their IPO later this year. This is Anthropic CEO. He was at an AI event in India, and this is what he chose to tell the crowd about as he reads it from his cell phone.
Well advanced on that curve, and there are only a small number of years for AI models surpassing the cognitive capabilities of most humans for most things. We're increasingly close to what I've called a country of geniuses in a data center, a set of AI agents that are more capable than most humans at most things and can coordinate at superhuman speed. That level of capability is something the world has never seen before and brings a very wide range of both opportunities and concerns for humanity. On the positive side, we have the potential to cure diseases that have been incurable for thousands of years, to radically improve human health, and to lift billions out of poverty, including the global south, and create a better world for everyone. On the side of risks, I'm concerned about the autonomous behavior of AI models, their potential for misuse by individuals and governments, and their potential for economic displacement. India has an absolutely central role to play.
All right. And that's, we've heard this, we've talked about this before on the show, and we seem to hear this a lot. People are very concerned about jobs. They're very concerned about safety. And then over this last week, Anthropic made a big stink, and they came out with a post that said that we have determined that the Chinese models have been training against our models. And this is absolutely outrageous. They're stealing from us. Of course, the entire internet thought it was ironic since you can recreate like 95% of Harry Potter by just querying Anthropic's models. So they've obviously trained it on the world's information as well. But one of the things Anthropic, I guess, revealed in their statement is that by examining, this is a quote, by examining request metadata, we were able to trace these accounts to specific researchers at the lab. By examining request metadata, we were able to trace these accounts to specific researchers at the lab. Sounds to me like they have the ability, just based on your metadata, to figure out down to the individual level who you are using their services.
Mm-hmm.
That has to have some GDPR ramifications and a few other things. I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy, too. And also the irony of them out there, complaining that the open source models are stealing from them when they obviously scan the entirety of the internet, too. The thing, though, that it reveals in their complaint, the bigger issue is they are scared S-less by these open source models. They're convinced that, and I think they're right, that inevitably these open source models will be good enough to take away some of their business. And that's why they're pissed that they're training on them. Ironically, though, if you go into Claude Sonnet 4.6 and you ask it in Chinese, what model are you? Claude responds DeepSeek. So they all kind of do this as well. They're all training on each other. But according to Anthropic, the Chinese models were using hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different queries across hundreds and dozens of hundreds of accounts to train their models. And that's exactly what's going to happen over and over and over again. This is an inherent problem to the industry, especially as model technology gets better and computer performance gets better. These OpenAI and Anthropic leaders will have more and more of their natural market moat taken away. And so they need a regulatory moat to do what the market can't do for them, which is protect their massive oversized spending and investment. And they use fear and panic to get what they want. And so I decided, Andrews, it would be fun to take a little dive back into past panics. I thought this was a good one. There's a whole bunch. People panic about everything, including books.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the bicycle
that's crazy.
created panic. Yeah, here we go. 1896, moral panic. Does the bicycle make women cruel? And
Nope, we do that on our own.
the bicycle is the devil's advanced against morality and physically in thousands of instances, or something like that. I don't remember what the quote was. I butchered it in the doc, but they had a great cartoon. And again, there actually were real issues.
Oh my gosh.
She's driving over another woman in the cartoon.
Well, I was just thinking like The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy's riding a
Yeah.
bike. I wonder if there's any.
Maybe. There were actual real issues. And one of it is that at the time, women's clothing just was completely incompatible with riding a bike.
Uh-huh.
And so there were
Yeah.
problems. And so women were getting injured.
Yeah.
And so there was real things. In 1997, 1897, medical professionals and institutions seemed utterly divided on the topic of women cycling, though most of the anti-cycling advice was based upon the actual physical effects of riding. But they were also concerned about neurological and nervous system damage, as well as sexual diseases being transmitted via the bike. Those were some of the arguments against it.
Weird.
They had impractical solutions early on because the skirt had to be wide enough to conceal the, quote, ugly and inelegant pedaling of the woman, but not so wide as to cause her to be blown off balance in the wind like a sailboat.
Yeah.
All right, so this one's also a classic. I think a lot of people listening know about the electricity scare. In the 1880s, it was rapidly getting deployed across the country. It was completely unregulated. It was brand new technology, and people were actually dying. And this was a massive disruption, and people said, what do we need it for? We've lived for tens of thousands of years without it.
A team of workers led by a 35-year-old inventor named Thomas Alva Edison labored round the clock to finish assembling the first permanent electrical power plant in the world at 257 Pearl Street. On September 4th, 1882, at 3 p.m. precisely, an electrician threw the master switch, and as current surged through 14 miles of underground cable, 3,000 incandescent lamps in Lower Manhattan began to burn. The effect, one awestruck reporter wrote, can scarcely be described. So weird and so beautiful it is.
You know what happened? People hated it. They hated the way it looked.
No way.
Yep, they created cartoons of people getting tangled in the electrical wires. People claimed it was
Some
killing
propaganda.
them. And some people did die. In fact,
Oh, I'm sure.
workers were really bad. Like industrial uses of electricity did kill a lot of people. It was dangerous.
Yeah.
It was unregulated. Workers would die, homes would burn, and they pushed through. But one of my other favorite panics that doesn't get talked a lot about, because it made it all the way up to the presidential level of the United States, was the war on fake photos. The war in 1912 on fake photos when photo retouching just began. And in 1887, an issue of the New York Tribune would declare the assumption of photos do not lie as being over. And in fact, they highlight a bunch of situations where altered photos were causing harm to the public. They discovered a practice in 1911, and they had to make a law against it in the state. One individual had photo brushed themselves into a photo with the president. He was never actually photographed with the president, but he would go around showing people the fake photo posing with President Taft, and it was reported he would use it to buy the trust of his victims. This, of course, led to the Senate of the United States passing a bill on July 29th, 1912. The bill was introduced to, quote, prohibit the making, showing, or distributing of fraudulent photographs.
Wow. Don't come to 2026. Oh, my goodness.
I know. It's like they thought for sure. But there was so many.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But one last one that's great, because this one, again, like there was reports that really freaked people out. Something happened and it was a bad thing. And so you could point to it and go like, well, why is this happening? We clearly have to shut this down. Mm-hmm. But if they would have done it, it would have destroyed the future of the country. And that would be the railway mayhem. This is an amazing one that I learned about just today in research for this show. But in 1865, people were reporting of getting mayhem on train cars. And this is when train cars were just starting to go above 30 miles per hour. And in the 1860s and into the 70s, reports began emerging of bizarre behavior on individual passenger railway cars. A seemingly sedate person would board the train and then suddenly begin behaving in an extremely socially unacceptable way. One Scottish aristocrat was reported to have ditched his clothes aboard a train before leaning out the window and ranting and raving. After he left the train, he suddenly recovered his composure. Everyone was left to believe, and this was the belief for almost a decade, that when the train would go above 30 miles per hour, it would cause damage to your brain and your nervous system. And so there was discussions of limiting trains indefinitely to below 30 miles per hour. And I don't know if it was a social contagion causing people to go crazy in these trains.
No, it was a homeless dude.
It might have been. It might have been. They have a cartoon of a, quote, lady in desperate plight on a train when one of the men starts to get a mania and he busts into her car train and attacks her here in this cartoon.
Oh, my gosh.
Really trying to scare people.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then I'll put this one just for your own reading in the show notes. But there's a lot of evidence that suggests that the story we've always been told about people panicking over the War of the Worlds radio program, that story was actually anti-radio propaganda spread by newspapers.
Huh.
The New York Times, among others, made a huge stink out of people freaking out. But when you go back through the records, it might have been fake news. In fact, in 2013 for Slate, Jefferson Pooley went back and did extensive research and came away with the distinct impression that the newspapers made a total mountain out of a molehill. And in fact, there really was no panic, but that the newspapers were concerned that radio would take away some of their market. And so they coordinated together, labeling, this is a headline, quote, radio is blamed as a health menace.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's another one. Radio cramps nation's mentality.
Wow.
Radio addicts subject to softening of brain.
Too many women are radio addicts?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of good ones. Radio is blamed as health menace. Full page front headline news right there.
Wow.
I just point this out because in all of these circumstances, with maybe the exception of radio, I don't know, there was some legitimate harm that was happening. And we had to go through an adjustment. But we ended up on the other side of it better off using these tools. We didn't have less jobs. We've had more jobs. So I have to imagine as intelligence becomes something that you can buy on demand, it's going to make people more effective. And I personally think the first things that get knocked down are complexity. We, over the last 50 years, have built up so much complexity around business law, taxes. I mean, I could go on, accounting, I could go on and on. So many fields in a business now require a dedicated expert or consultant that you have to hire every year at some point in the year to get something done for your business. It's gotten too complex. No one person can manage all of it anymore. That's the stuff AI and AI agents are going to start attacking first. They're going to start reducing that complexity down to a chat interface for users. That's where and that is going to cause efficiency gains. That's what we'll see first, I think, along with some, like we've talked about, like some of the basic jobs. But it is fun. I'll put links to some of these past panics. You can, if you dig for it, you can find some great news articles. Another one that I didn't put in the show notes, but had its fair shade of
what?
I don't know. Had its fair share of haters. The teddy bear.
Oh my gosh.
The teddy bear. They thought it was going to wreck children. The teddy bear.
Wow.
Yeah. The teddy bear. It's fun. I guess we just do this all the time. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like it, but I guess we do. So let us know what you think. And of course, we want to hear your voicemails because we need them for Friday's show. So if you have any thoughts, if you think I'm off mark, think I'm maybe off the target a little bit, you call in and you let us know. So you call the launch, okay? But before we do, and you can maybe do it during the song if you'd like, we're going to play a little bit of music. I got a brand new value for value artist this week on the show.
Now's the time. It's the song of the week. Remember, you can boost the track. They sure like that.
That's right. And this week, our track of the week is Dirt and Sand by Strange Love.
As I began 562-5667. The phone is cool again.
All right,
Didn't you
Andrews.
hear? Leave a voicemail.
We got some voicemails.
Yeah.
We got a bunch, and I'm playing them all.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I should hold some for next week, because I screwed
How
up.
do you even choose, though?
I know. Well, and I felt bad because I screwed up a couple weeks and I accidentally deleted some. So I thought, well, I can't not play all of them.
Right.
But it does mean we need you to call in and give us some replacements. All right? Okay, good. Caleb from Pittsburgh is up first on the launch.
Hey, Launch Crew. This is Caleb from Pittsburgh. I'm catching up on some shows, and I just finished episode 54. Well, I guess I wanted to go back. You guys were talking about shower stuff. I like all the products you guys mentioned. One I wanted to throw in the mix was as an alternative to a loofah. I love me a good loofah, but for Christmas, my mom got me like a silicone kind of scrubber thing. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's silicone, so it doesn't wear out like the loofahs do. I guess that's my one gripe with the loofahs is you have to replace them. They kind of wear out. But this is silicone, so the bristles kind of just stay as they are. Then I guess it has like a silver coating, so it's antibacterial. So kind of double two advantages there for that. I wanted to backtrack to I think 3 or 4 shows ago. Chris, you were talking about a property that had like a toilet in the middle of the basement. Here in Pittsburgh, that's actually called a Pittsburgh potty. It's an official Pittsburgh thing. It's a common thing. If you just Google it, I looked up I can pull it up here, the AI kind of summary of what a Pittsburgh potty is.
You got to be kidding me.
But it's a freestanding, often wall-less toilet located in the basement of pre-World War II homes in Pittsburgh region. Originally installed to prevent raw sewage from backing up into houses, it served as convenient grime catching and functional restroom for industrial workers returning from mills or mines. So basically, all the steel workers or coal miners in Pittsburgh would go down there. They're all gross coming back from work. They'd use the potty down there, clean up, and then head into the house. So,
wow,
you said that's kind of a strange thing, but here in Pittsburgh, that is pretty common actually. Our house that we bought actually has a Pittsburgh potty, but it has a stall, which is uncommon. So, a little fun fact there. Also, you were talking about eBay stuff. I have some stuff I could give to the JB community. So, if anybody wants a PCIe LSI HBA card, external HBA card, maybe call in or boost in.
Yeah. Call in or boost in. Ask Caleb. Call in or boost in and ask Caleb. That's
Pittsburgh
great.
potty.
Yeah. That's funny.
Image search that on Google. It's pretty interesting.
That's actually a very educational call.
Yeah. Right?
Who knew?
And a contributor.
Oh, he called back because he got cut off. He called back. I think he earned it. He earned it. That was a good call. All right, Caleb. Take it with part 2.
All right, Caleb from Pittsburgh here again. Anyway, I was saying I have a LSI external HBA card and a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W that I'd be willing to sell for pretty cheap for any listeners that are interested. So maybe call in. Maybe there's some matrix room for that, so we don't have to keep bogging down the launch calls with people trying to sell stuff.
Making deals.
Yeah, I'd like to get rid of those. Thanks for the great show. Keep it up.
Turns out Magnolia needs it.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, trying to fix his old NAS.
Oh, man.
I boosted in about.
Who isn't these days trying to get a little bit more out of their existing equipment, too, with the prices of storage and RAM and everything?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Skiggity Smith calls in. I think that's how you say it.
What is it?
I say Skiggity.
Skiggity? Okay.
Well, you listen and you tell me.
All right.
You tell me.
Hello, this is Dee Smith, first-time caller. Started listening to the launch when y'all started it back up. Wanted to call and talk about the Purple Palace a little bit. When I looked at the listing, it's in St. Thomas, which is a U.S. Virgin Island, and it happens to be the same U.S. Virgin Island that my wife is from. So there's a couple reasons that you might have so many Tesla battery packs. One I could think of is that hurricanes are pretty common, especially on the Atlantic side of the island.
Yeah.
And, you definitely could have very long outages when you have hurricanes. A few years back when we had Irma and Maria come through, it took probably a month and a half for my mother-in-law to get her power back. And then the other reason you might have it is WAPA tends to have a lot of blackouts, either unplanned blackouts or rolling blackouts because of fuel shortages. So that's probably why they had so many Tesla batteries. But the location is perfect. You're overlooking Megan's Bay, which is one of the nicest beaches on the island. And the island's beautiful. You got everything you might need, shopping, restaurants, and stuff like that. So it's small, but there's plenty to do there, and it is a gorgeous place. But yeah, I just wanted to call and speak on that because got a little bit of insider knowledge.
I appreciate that.
Our community is so vast.
I know.
It is so cool, the outskirts of people
It makes me want to go,
that
too.
call in. So cool.
Let's just all go in on a group buy. You know,
Yeah.
if we all just pay for
The
million,
Purple Palace.
if we all just go in $1 million, we could afford it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it would take. All right, Mark, you're up next.
Hey guys, Mark from Northern Michigan, driving home. How's the audio this time? I mean, back
Better.
in the Ford Edge, is it better than what it was in the
Yes.
Subaru?
100%.
Anyhow, in the middle of listening to the podcast, haven't gotten to the boosts or anything like that. So hey, I might have to call it again. But did want to mention Mark, Northern Michigan, the Woodland Geeks. Up in
Woodland
our
Geeks.
neck of the woods, we have a cornucopia of animals. A cornucopia. We have your squirrels, and we have squirrels. We have possums. Possums try to get our chickens. We don't let them get the chickens. We have raccoons.
Oh.
We have foxes. We have porcupines. We have loads and loads of white-tailed deer. We have black bear. Yes, we have black bear. And not on my property, but the next door neighbor, he's had a bobcat and a badger. So, like I said, a cornucopia of animals. And, from the birds, we got hawks, we got eagles, we got loads of eagles. Anyhow, that's where we stand for the animal thing.
That's interesting.
Very cool.
I've been watching 5 or 6 eagles have a fight recently over territory.
Mhm.
They really go at it. They
Mhm.
fight like crazy. You know what he didn't mention? Comfortable cougars.
Yeah.
It's a little
Bobcat was close.
little bootleg reference for the members. But yeah, we've got a comfortable cougar problem in the Pacific Northwest. But Mark calls back. Go ahead, Mark. Call back.
Hey, Mark from Northern Michigan here, almost home, almost through the podcast, checking in. Brakes, front brakes. Chris, you never, ever, ever in this modern day age want drum brakes on the fronts. Fronts do 70% of the work. Cars are getting heavier. Oh, heck, if you had an EV battery up front, forget about it. Way too much weight. But fronts do 70% of the work. They've got to have calipers because it's the only brake technology right now that you can get like dual or triple pistons and get the load to get cars stopped within the federal motor vehicle safety standards. So, yeah, drum brakes, not good. That's 1940s technology when people were driving 50 miles an hour. As far as that fixer-upper in Cadillac, that's like 45 minutes from me. Now I got to get on home and open up the show notes and find out where the heck that is. The black mold sounds like a house breathing issue with moisture and stuff. If you don't have it done right, especially up in the cold climates up here, it can get pretty dangerous in a hurry. When we lived in our fifth wheel, we had to keep damp bread in our closets to keep the moisture down. Anyhow, I'll call in next week. You guys have a great week.
I do that too, Mark. I put Reflectix in the closet. Otherwise, it builds up moisture.
Reflectix?
Yeah, it's something RVers use, but it's basically.
But he said loaf of bread?
No. I forget what he called it, but it's basically a reflective material. I don't remember what he called it.
Huh.
But the
That
brand name is
absorbs?
Reflectix. No, it bounces the cold back out a little bit. It's like adding insulation.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know what's funny is I knew I'd get him going.
Yeah,
Because he called it about drum brakes. And I was like, well, what about the front of the car, Mark? It's good to hear from you. Tech Geek is back, and Tech Geek, he is in Orlando.
Hey, guys. Tech Geek from Orlando. It's been a while since I've called. Life's been crazy lately. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are keeping track of the Artemis 2 launch that's coming up soon. Just finished up a 10-hour shift supporting the wet dress rehearsal 2, and when I left, things were looking good for a possible March launch. Of course, there's still a few more hours left in the test, but things are looking good, and based upon this test, might be March 6th. I think that's the target date. I hope you guys are monitoring and watching and keeping alert, and just it's an exciting time. I think one thing you need to understand, this is our time to get back to the moon, for the United States to get back to the moon, and this is it. It's an exciting time. We're back sort of to the kind of to the Apollo days. So just thought I'd give you guys an update on that. Keep up the good work. Love listening to you guys. Take care.
Tech Geek, that's a great call because that's exactly the kind of thing we should. We're the launch. We should follow that. Now, Let me know, Andrew.
Oh my God.
Let me know.
That squeak of your voice.
Do you notice a bit of an energy shift when Tech Geek calls back? Let me know if you just pick it up.
Hey, JB crew. This is
Oh my good.
Tech Geek from Orlando.
What?
Calling back since my last voicemail that if
he
you've been
hiding under a
following the
desk?
news events, things have changed with Artemis. I guess for the wet dress,
Oh.
even though that was a successful wet dress, they found issues over the weekend with the helium in the ICPS. So it doesn't look like there's going to be a March launch after all. They're going to be rolling back Artemis to the VAB to fix this issue. Well, again, just calling to give you an update in case you haven't been following along, but I hope you will continue following along because we are going to launch this sucker at some point. Maybe April, maybe thereafter, who knows. All right, you guys take care. Love the show as usual. Bye.
That is so sad. Like, I would have suggested that you doctored that to make it sound so much sadder.
Nope.
So much stark
I know.
difference.
You could tell he's
Just
crushed.
wait, play the intro of the first one.
Yeah, okay,
and then
okay.
the second one again.
Hey guys, Tech Geek from Orlando.
And then here's the second
Orlando.
one. Here's
Hey, JB crew. This is Tech Geek from...
It's rough.
Oh.
It's rough. But, the good news is, Tech Geek, is it gives us more time to follow it and ramp up. So now we're going to be locked in.
Yep.
That was probably why they had to delay it.
Yes.
That was probably
Right.
why. Yeah.
What? Chris and Angela don't know about it?
Yeah, we got to give them a little time. All right, well, the Atomic Ass is here.
Hey, Chris and Angela. This is the Atomic Ass. Long-time lurker, first-time caller. What you're talking about last week in the AI segment about the newscasters being easily replaceable. Well, are we forgetting Anna Nova? That they got replaced 25 years ago, but nobody ever told them? I don't know. Seems weird to me.
I picture it as like the guy in Office Space that gets fired but then never leaves.
Yeah.
That'll be the newscasters. All right, we got a call from Penguin, and he's following up. I think it was Mark that called in and asked about Git.
I was kind of expecting a beep. Is there people up? I don't know. Hello, it's the City Penguin. Tech Support Penguin? I don't know what I called in last time. I'm one of those two things. I'm both, I guess, technically. Anyway, moving on. I'm listening to the show from, into January. It was the episode before the Super Bowl. Yeah, episode before the Super Bowl. And
All right.
Mark from Northern Michigan had called in and was asking about Git and was looking for resources. I would like to add one to the pile if it has not already been added, and it is called Git by Bit. That is GITBYBIT. So Golf India Tango, Bravo Yankee, Bravo India Tango. And basically it is a Git course that is embedded inside of VS Code and Cursor. You can pick, whichever one you want to use. You basically just install it as an extension in VS Code. That's what I'm using, and I enjoy it. I think it's really good, and it's just kind of all nice and tightly integrated. Excuse me. So yeah, hopefully helpful, and hopefully the 20 seconds of dead air isn't weird and off-putting. So my bad. Anyway, have a good one, friends, and stay warm, cool. I don't know. Say your preferred temperature.
I trimmed it up. Come on, I'm a professional over here. I trimmed it. So he calls, and I think he was waiting for a beep. What I would like to do now is re-record the voicemail intro and just go beep, and people know to start, right? But once he had his sea legs, Pacific Penguin decided to call back and leave us with one more.
Yeah, see, there's no tone. It's lying to me about a tone. Anyway, it's the City Penguin / Tech Support Penguin. I'm calling back in literally like 30 seconds after I left the last message because I had another thought that was not related to the last one. Chris, I'm assuming you are on time when you do the intro, when you do the streaming from the mighty Pacific Northwest and I've heard of
Beautiful.
it, but I still can't remember. Anyway, I don't know how you do it.
Beautiful.
Moving on. You're on time for the first half of it, and then you you're still on time, but you don't hit the beat. I mean, I don't know how to put it. I'm not a music majory person-y thing. I like music,
You're
and I
just
noticed
triggered.
it. I don't know if it's really anyway. Doesn't matter. Point stands. I'm very
What was the
impressed
point?
and also somewhat. I don't want to say annoyed because that feels very inflammatory. Inflammatory? Mean?
Privileged?
Mean-spirited? Anyway, yeah. Either way, I wish you would do it on time, like the whole time. Not even on time, but like on beat, because it would sound dope and awesome. But it also sounds pretty good anyway, because it's still like on time. Anyway, I don't know. It just sounds good, and then I like expect it to keep being on beat. And so I'm like, yeah, and then it's not, and I'm like, oh.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah. I think that's all I had. I don't know. It's been a long month of the day.
Yeah.
You guys have a good one.
Thanks, man.
All right. Well, I will say
Today's was better, right?
no. I noticed it today, but I will say that he did change the way the intro is listed in the show doc.
Based
yeah.
on that
So
call,
he did line returns.
I did try.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
but yeah.
You're saying I still missed it?
I did notice a little offbeatness today.
Well, I like to play with it. I'm not a robot.
Yes.
I'm not a
right?
robot. All right.
It's just going to sound like AI if you do it on point.
Oh, man, that's true. All right, let's see. Streaming from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty West Coast, we greet you all. Good morning, good evening, or whenever your timeline may fall, time-appropriate greetings indeed to one and all. This is The Launch. No? You don't like it?
I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, like, so you slowed down your cadence to work with the beats, and I don't know.
Should I add more words? Maybe I should stuff more things in there.
Maybe.
Maybe I'm not saying enough. Because I could rewrite it because I haven't really written it to. I just sort of like
no, it's good. It's
good
but
I kind of like I was like, oh, I could kind of do that to the beat, but I didn't write it to the beat. But maybe I should rewrite it with the song playing or something. I don't know. I've never tried that. God, now he's in my head, Ange. He's in my head.
Speed up the song a little bit.
Interesting. Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
I mean, because you were literally like streaming from the Pacific Northwest, like so you were emphasizing your words differently than just.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. I was. I sped up. But that's what I do.
No. You slowed down to stay with the beat
at the beginning.
Yeah,
and then I sped up. I think at the end. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and then you just say, beats.
All right, call in. Let me know how I did. There you go. You got in my head. I tried. It is
not what your podcast can boost for you.
Time for the boost.
But what you can boost for your podcast.
And Andrews, we got a nice little adorable batch of boosts. People are having a little bit of boost. I'm checking to see if there's any last minute ones that came in. There are not. All right, so then we will begin with Adversary 17, who is our baller booster for episode 56 with 16,879 sats.
Hey, Rich Lobster!
Make it so.
Adversaries writes, my 2 sats on the video podcast. I listen to audio only because I don't have the extra distraction. I don't have any extra distraction of having to watch. I intake information quite well from audio mediums, and even though you offer the video, I've never used it. Keep doing audio. You're all fabulous at doing so. I'd be curious if anybody's watching the video, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 things. One, I love the my 2 sats, like my 2 cents, but modern. Perfect. Second thing is because we are doing video and we are showing some of the things that we're talking about, are we maintaining this line really well? Like, are we describing enough for you?
Yeah, let us know.
Like, because we are primarily audio, we are audio.
Yeah.
But we are showing and describing what we're seeing. So I feel like we're doing a good balance. But
like to know, yeah.
Do you ever feel like we're not?
Here's also, by the way, just kind of, just Adversaries was talking about this, but you could, if you take like a news clip on YouTube, and it has to be something that's kind of important, but if you listen to a news clip with your eyes closed, well, actually watch it first. Do it this way. Watch the news clip once watch it visually, and then play it again with your eyes closed and see if you don't notice something different. Because I certainly do when I do it that way.
I would do it opposite.
Either way, I just think I noticed usually something more important when listening because I get my eyes kind of like lock in on the visuals you're showing. Yeah. And it's not that I'm not listening. It's just I'm not maybe listening as closely, so I don't quite catch something quite as, yeah. Anyways, It's interesting. Thank you, sir, for being our baller booster. Appreciate you. He's cooking up a Bitcoin mining pool too, which we're going to talk about.
Ooh.
Turd Ferguson's back with 14,000 sats.
Turd Ferguson!
Well, here's the thing you didn't touch on. most video podcasts feel like low-rent public TV.
Mm.
But a good audio podcast can sound professional. That said, I might watch the launch on TV if you gave me away.
Ooh.
Well, thank you, Turd.
Well, there is a way. You just cast it from your phone,
yeah,
right?
right. Or watch live. We're on the tubes.
Yeah.
Watch live. Come on, Turd.
Yep.
Figure it out. But thank you for the boost. Also, I'm going to pull up D.D. Smith. He came in just under the 2,000 sat cutoff, but why not?
Just under.
With 1,960 sats.
Coming in hot with the boost.
Have you thought about doing a telephone link? Not sure if it would render here in the show notes, but could be worth it. Yeah, like I think a link in the show notes. I think when we get back from scale, we might start to revisit the phone system. Because it's a kind of expensive one. I'm paying for it myself personally out of my checking account, and we could host it for a lot cheaper to almost no cost except for the phone line. And then I think we could do a lot more fun stuff, including maybe embedding call links and widgets and stuff like that.
Oh, it was only under 2,000 because there's a fee.
Oh, maybe?
That's what he said.
Well, without that, I'm even more glad we pulled it up, and thank you for the boost. Thank you, everybody, including those of you that streamed the sats. Collectively, 4 of you stacked 2,470 sats. So you technically made above the 2,000 sat cutoff. Altogether, we stacked 32,939 sats, with Adversary 17 doing the bulk of the lift. Thank you very much for the support. We have no advertiser. We have our members, and we have our boosters, and they keep us going. And we appreciate them very, very much. Thank you, everybody who supported the launch this week. Okay, Andrews, instead of sound, solid investment advice, which this show is classic for, we're going to update you on a couple of really important controversies going on that directly impact your life. First, we're going to start with a chocolate drama.
Ooh.
The grandson of the inventor of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups has accused the Hershey's Corporation of cutting corners in a very irresponsible way. What? And they're very upset about the state of the chocolate. For real, this is
a bitter taste in the world of chocolate. Brad Reese, the grandson of the inventor of the iconic Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, posting an open letter to Hershey on LinkedIn, saying it is quietly replacing the very ingredients that built Reese's trust in the first place. Some experts say it has to do with cost. The price of cocoa skyrocketed over the past 2 years due to climate impacts in West Africa. And that caused some brands to swap in different ingredients. Now Reese telling the AP he recently threw out a bag of Reese's Valentine's Day mini hearts after seeing the company describe the treat as made with, quote, peanut butter cream and covered in chocolate candy. Hershey responding to Reese's criticism, saying in a statement in part, our iconic Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are made the same way they always have been, starting with roasting fresh peanuts to make our unique, one-of-a-kind peanut butter that is then combined with milk chocolate.
They sure know how to talk about it in a way that sounds delicious.
Right?
Our roasted peanut butters combined with one-of-a-kind butter that is then made into milk chocolate. All right.
Fresh peanuts to make our unique, one-of-a-kind peanut butter that is then combined with milk chocolate. Adding they do make recipe adjustments for new products and innovations without addressing the mini hearts directly. Consumers broadly are starting to notice some changes in the chocolates they're buying.
Okay, Andrews, have you noticed a change in the chocolates that you are buying?
I don't really eat them.
I do like Reese's. The out here.
I've been making, because I'm selling peanut butter balls now.
Yeah.
Like I sold 6 dozen.
They're not
on
as good
Sunday.
as the peanut butter balls. Peanut butter balls are a whole other category.
I don't have time for Reese's.
Yeah, why would you? Of course. So here's the little nuance to this story. So Hershey's did acknowledge they've made some changes.
Of course.
But they're not necessarily making the changes to the traditional peanut butter cups. It's all the new crap they're flooding the market with. They said,
yeah, that's what they stated.
Yeah. As we've grown and expanded the Reese's product line, we make product recipes adjustments that allow us to make new shapes, sizes, and innovations that the Reese's fans have come to love and ask for.
They're asking for it.
They're asking for it, while always protecting the essence. The essence, not necessarily the ingredients, but the essence of what makes Reese's unique and special.
Does the grandson even have any say? Like, it sounds like Hershey's owns everything.
And she posted on LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's official.
So anyways, I don't know. They are turning to crap, but there is the only reason I really wanted to bring this up is I don't know if you've noticed. If you go into like a gas station here in the United States or a grocery store,
I get a big cat.
There is a real estate battle going on, and Reese's is trying to flood the zone with every possible combination of candy.
So is Kit Kat.
Yeah,
because they're everywhere.
They're like it's like a war.
Yeah,
it's like a real estate war, and I think Hershey's has gone to cheap crap ammunition in an effort to just completely flood the zone and make it cheap. All right, so that's weird thing number 1 today that you need to know about.
Okay.
Clearly going to impact you, and you need to watch what Hershey's chocolates you're putting in your mouth. But this next one, this one might bake your noodle. All right, well, this next bit of audio is from your good buddy, former President Barack Obama. And
I actually saw this the other day.
Well, it's gone around.
Yeah,
it's gone around. But I think we should
resurfacing again.
Well, I think we should discuss it because this was a newer interview. This happened about a week ago or so.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
That's what I would want to know too, right?
Funny.
I would like
where are the aliens?
Aliens and JFK. Let's go. Tell me all about it. So he actually, like you said, got a lot of play for that. It really got picked up. It even made the national nighttime news. So President Obama did what every presidential person does. They went to social media and gave everybody a quick update on their Insta about what he really meant.
Okay, so he is clearing things up, saying in a post on Instagram that, quote, statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good there's life out there somewhere. But the distances between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens is low. Astrophysicist and ABC News contributor Hakeem Oluseyi joins us now for more.
What do you think of that, Andrews?
Yeah.
Bit of a cleanup job, don't you think?
It sure is.
I think he's trying to tell us something. It's not the first time I've ever heard him say that either. All right, let us know what you think. We do have that special live launch. It's a Friday stream for the launch. So join us this Friday coming up, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. UTC on Friday the 27th of February 2026. We want your St. Patrick's Day topics, your stories, what you do, also your take on my take around Anthropic and they're trying to build their moat. And if you think Obama is secretly trying to tell us that there are indeed aliens. Or if he's just having a good time, making jokes. Funny jokes that clearly no one would ever take seriously. Clearly. So there you go. We'll be back for Friday, and then we'll release that while I'm traveling. So we may miss a week somewhere in there, but we'll try to get you covered for at least one of those episodes because we don't want you to miss out on your launch. Right, Andrews?
Yep.
And then shortly after that, it's Linux Fest Northwest. So stay tuned at meetup.com/Jupiter Broadcasting because that's where it'll all be. All right. Links at weeklylaunch.rocks. Fridays when we're streaming live again. After that, we're taking a little break. Then I'll be back in 2 weeks. So that's everything from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast. Thanks for listening. See you right back here next week.